Hi everybody, hope you're well. I'm Emma and I'm one of the founders of Hip Pop. And today I'm here to talk to you about one of the most frequently asked questions we're ever asked, which is what are the health benefits of kombucha? Now, as our general manager, Zach, likes to say, there's a lot of mysticism around kombucha. And many people claim many things about its health benefits, from it being an elixir of life, a miracle tonic, to it being little more than a fizzy soda. But what's the truth? Well, I'm not a scientist, but Hip Pop was born because I made the co-founder Kenny some kombucha to help with his IBS. And his tummy felt loads better and he loved the taste of the drink. And the rest is history. So I'm not a scientist, but I'm a really dedicated kombucha brewer and drinker. And I run a drinks business that makes kombucha. I've done a lot of research into kombucha. So today, what I'm going to do is share some of this with you, as well as some links to the science so you can take a look for yourself. So let's get into it right now. So first things first, for anybody who isn't very familiar with kombucha or maybe has just stumbled across this video, here is a little overview of what kombucha is. So kombucha is a fermented tea and it's made by adding a symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast, also known as a SCOBY, to sweeten tea. And this culture metabolizes the sugar and ferments the tea, turning it from sweet tea into the beautiful, delicious, zingy drink we all know and love as kombucha. And first of all, and this is a general point, kombucha, whether it's home brewed or commercially brewed, tends to be lower in sugar than a regular fizzy drink. Certainly home brewed kombucha will be made with very few ingredients and they will be natural ingredients. And this is true of lots of commercial kombucha brands too. So kombucha is therefore a lower sugar, natural alternative to fizzy drinks. And one thing that is without question is that metabolic health issues such as obesity and diabetes are growing rapidly across the world. So the World Health Organization tells us that there are now 463 million people all across the world with type 2 diabetes, and this will rise to 700 million by 2045. A regular full-fat soft drink in a 330 millilitre can contains around 35 grams of sugar. And the diet versions have got less sugar or even no sugar, but they replace sugar with sweeteners which are ultra-processed. So compare these to a sweetener-free kombucha which contains 7 or 8 grams of sugar, perhaps even less. Kombucha is not a magical fix-all, but it is a lower sugar, natural alternative to fizzy drinks. So replacing a sugary or sweetener-laden fizzy pop or soda with a more natural alternative, i.e. kombucha, as part of a balanced diet is always going to be a really good thing. Next point. Kombucha is made from tea. Not always, but most of the time. And in fact, and we looked this up, 3 billion kilograms of tea are produced and drunk every year. That's a lot of tea. And a quick search on Google will point you in the direction of numerous scientific studies showing the health benefits of a good old cup of cha. Let's pick this apart a little bit. So tea is a plant, and tea is an excellent source of polyphenols. Now, polyphenols are a very diverse group of compounds found in plants. So any plant that is bright and colourful is particularly rich in polyphenols. And in plants, polyphenols help to protect the plant from the sun, from pathogens. There are actually thousands of different types of polyphenol, and tea itself contains lots of different types. When I say tea, I mean green tea, black tea, oolong tea, white tea. They're all produced from the same plant, the same tea, and its proper scientific name is Camellia sinensis. So green tea is high in a type of polyphenol called catechin. Black tea still contains catechins, but it's got less than green. And black tea has more theaflavins. And again, this just shows that it's really good to vary what you eat and drink, even when it comes down to the type of tea. So kombucha can be made from any type of tea, but it tends, at home and commercially, to be made from green tea and often black tea too. So polyphenols are antioxidants, and antioxidants help to neutralise free radicals and prevent oxidative stress. Now, one thing they're thought to promote is good gut health, and that's just one benefit. So if you search online, you can find numerous resources and research into tea and into polyphenols, and we've provided some interesting links for you to start off with. And sticking with the antioxidant theme, so we've already got the tea in kombucha, but the fermentation process itself produces even more antioxidants. So some of the bacteria present in a kombucha fermentation include Acetobacter, Gluconobacter, often Lactobacillus, and during the fermentation, these bacteria produce acids. So Acetobacter produces acetic acid, Gluconobacter produces gluconic acid, lactic acid bacteria produce lactic acid, obviously. All of these acids are very interesting with lots of research you can take a look at. So acetic acid, for example. Now, acetic acid is actually another name for vinegar, by the way, and so acetic acid is why kombucha has that beautiful sort of apple cider vinegary tang. Now, acetic acid is also an antioxidant, and there are studies looking at the effect of acetic acid on blood glucose levels. And gluconic acid has been studied for its effects on beneficial bacteria in the gut, particularly bifidobacteria. And this brings us nicely onto the topic of probiotics, or friendly bacteria. And as we've just talked about, there are so many more benefits to kombucha than probiotics. But most people associate kombucha with probiotics, and they are very, very important. So probiotics are beneficial bacteria that live in the gut, and research into the gut and into probiotics is one of the most exciting areas in science and nutrition research. At least I think so. So kombucha is fermented by bacteria, so bacteria can be found in kombucha. And the types and extent of bacteria will vary according to whether it's homemade or commercially produced kombucha. So home-brewed kombucha won't have been sort of processed in any way. Home-brewed kombucha is the best sort of kombucha and the most cost-effective. Commercial kombucha might be filtered, it might be pasteurised, it also has to be bottled or canned and stored properly, so it might contain more than one type of bacteria in greater or lesser amounts, or one type of bacteria that's been added into the finished kombucha. There are tons of different ways to produce kombucha commercially, and we're going to cover that in a separate video. But what there are tons of studies looking at the beneficial effects of probiotic bacteria and the gut microbiome, and this is only going to increase as more and more research demonstrates the importance of the gut to our overall health and well-being. Lastly, I think it's important to point out in a video about the health benefits of kombucha that kombucha is a brilliant alternative to alcohol. Now, because it's fermented, it's got a tiny, tiny amount of alcohol, yes, and that's true of all fermented foods. So a ripe banana or a bottle of soy sauce actually can contain more alcohol than the trace alcohol in kombucha. That's typically under 0.5%, so it's very, very low. We're actually recording this video on the 1st of February, and I've just done dry January, the whole month, and I couldn't have done it without kombucha. So that's a real and very massive benefit there. So this is a bit of the very real research into kombucha for you to mull over and have a think about. We've provided links so you can start your own journey into the research, and I hope this video has been thought-provoking and helped to clear up some of the debate about kombucha and the delicious fermented drink that we love. If you want to try kombucha for the first time, or in fact any of our other drinks, just take a look at the description underneath this video because we'll give you 20% off your first order. If you've got any more questions about the video, please get in touch, please comment, please give us a like and a follow on here on YouTube or on any of our other social media accounts. And on there you can find a ton of other discussion about kombucha and other functional and fermented food and drinks. So thank you for watching and see you next time.